We're going to call this meeting to order, the May 2nd, 2024 called board meeting. And the first item is to approve the agenda. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next on the menu is to approve the minutes from the April 29th, 2024 board meeting. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Board members, before we proceed into our business, I want to take a moment to address in general personnel actions taken by the board. I know this is a topic of interest to many of you and to many of those in our community. I want to clearly state that we have not, cannot, and will not make personnel decisions based on an individual's race, sex, sexual orientation, religion, national origin, or disability. I can assure you that all of our decisions are vetted thoroughly and thoughtfully to be in compliance with applicable laws and board policies and with the best interests of our students, faculty, and community in mind. We are fortunate to have employees throughout our system who contribute greatly to our students' academic success and are committed to our mission to provide every child in our schools the opportunity to learn without limits, and that will continue to be the case. Finally, I do want to thank each of you who have contacted the board and me for your passion and for your caring so deeply about our students and our school system. Thank you. I'll proceed into our business with our first item.
There has been a lot of questions, I think, to individual board members, and probably to Dr. Freeman as well, as to what kind of public statements the board, either as individual members or collectively, can make, what kind of discussion can be had on personal recommendations. Mr. Gordon, can you provide us with a legal framework and background as to what we can do and cannot do?
Yes, sir, Mr. Brown, every board employee has privacy rights, and governments throughout this nation and this Board of Education respect those and don't comment on employee matters. Even the federal government's agency assigned to investigate employment matters, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, doesn't make public comments. It's unfair to the employee to make public comments. The employees in question here have respected that process and not made public comments. And as a result, my recommendation, and I think every lawyer who represents the government would all say, it's best not to comment on that. It's simply not right.
Oh, that's all of us true. Is it illegal for you to comment on it?
Yeah.
Is it illegal for you to comment publicly on Ms. Dressback's demotion?
Obviously,
No.
the question is coming from y'all. I'll be happy to answer it, but we really need to restrict the comments to questions from.
So it's not illegal. To be clear, I want to be clear. It's not illegal for you
Yes
to
or
do.
no?
If you wanted to comment publicly,
Ms.
you could.
Rizzo, you will have an opportunity to comment at the end of the meeting.
I can comment, but you won't answer the
Simple
question.
answer. Answers, legitimate answers.
We have a public comment period at the end. Mr. Gordon,
Discussion is before the session, not after.
Mr. Gordon, is it legal advice to the board that we not have comment on personnel decisions?
Sure, there's not only state case law, but federal case law and state statute that say that you should not comment on sensitive employee matters. This would certainly be one of those.
All of us.
Oh, we already have.
So as their attorney, you're advising them.
To not tell us why she was demoted.
Yeah.
She has been
All right,
demoted.
we're gonna go ahead and move on, and if anyone has anything to say at the end of the meeting, we'll give everybody an opportunity to speak.
Where on the agenda would that be? Because it's not listed up there.
It's not, but we decided we were gonna do it, to
Prior to the decision?
let anyone speak in the normal pattern that we normally do at the end of the meeting.
Is this a
So
normal
after
measure
the
of
decision.
So we have no input on your decision whatsoever.
So you're gonna make the decision before you can explain the decision.
We
in
just
one
need to
minute.
move on with
You need to
the
move on.
agenda, and then anyone that wants to speak will have an opportunity to do so.
You're gonna make the decision
we
before you allow
appreciate
public
that.
comment, correct?
Excuse
You're
me?
gonna make the decision before you allow, you're gonna vote before you allow public comment, correct?
That's correct.
This is democracy. Yeah.
In action.
Can you speak to the
Board members,
I know a lot of y'all, okay, I do, I know a lot of y'all, I knew some of you a long time ago, I know some of you now. A lot of you out here, and the people up here, and we're simply asking a question, we're not getting an answer, she's getting demoted. And y'all are saying, we're not gonna tell you why, but here's our decision. And that's not the right way to do it.
If it's not because of something that's related to her sexuality or identity, then is there a reason that you felt like our children were in danger in some way? Because we have a right to know.
Yeah, why alternative
Hey, you
school
wanna
and
bring
not
that up before?
Bravo Heights?
Yeah, are the kids in the alternative school not in danger? I don't think
That's
that.
You really want to know from the public, what
board
community?
members, I'm going to move with
I know
business
you will.
item A.
I don't blame silly.
I recommend the
For
board
wanting
approve the
to.
transfer of Lauren Dressback to principal with the alternative school on May 3rd, 2024.
Why do you recommend that there, Todd?
You've heard the superintendent's recommendation
She grew up here, y'all.
transfer Lauren Dressback to the alternative school
There are lots of
effective May
residents of the
3rd,
state of Wilson in this room.
2024.
What are you covering
I
up?
have a motion to approve. Second.
Really? Come on.
Come on,
You graduated.
Is there any further discussion?
Yes.
Wait,
All in favor?
My child goes to school.
It's not a thing.
We can at least know who voted.
What happened to hands, raise your hand.
It's a public.
You put it up, you said, somebody said, all in favor.
Board members, if
I
I
would like
may,
to know who.
I'd like to address the police officers in the room. And that those who are in attendance under the Open Meetings Act, who will have the opportunity to make comments at the end of the meeting, cannot disrupt the meeting. And I ask those citizens who are passionate about their position to please speak when the public is allowed to speak.
You already decided.
But allow
You already decided.
the Board of Education to conduct its business. The board is respecting your right to speak. Police officers,
The business looks nefarious.
if there
It doesn't
turns out
look
to
like
be
good
a
business.
disruption to the meeting which prevents us from operating according to law.
You're
No,
good.
I'm sorry, you're on the board right now. Are you on the board,
All
sir?
right, we're gonna move on
Board
to
members,
item
item
B.
B, I recommend the
I
board.
was gonna say right now.
Can we know?
Yeah.
I recommend the board.
It's part of our rights,
I recommend the
right?
board approve the contract for Kim
Whether
Olson
any
as
business.
principal at Vestavia Hills Elementary, Catawba Heights, effective May 3rd, 2024.
Heard the superintendent's recommendation to approve Tim Polson as principal at Vestavia Hills, Cava Heights, effective May 3rd. Do I have a motion to approve?
No.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Item 5 is personnel. Board members, I recommend approval of personnel actions as submitted.
Per the superintendent's recommendation to approve the personnel items that were submitted, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Shameful.
Shameful.
Shame on you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Gosh, this is so horrible.
You all want to try to push this under the rug, but we are not gonna sit down. We're trying to close this out, but we are not gonna forget what you've done.
So the individual desiring to speak shall stand and give his or her name and their address. The presentation should be as brief as possible. In no event shall such address exceed 3 minutes. The speaker may make statements about their particular concern with school operations and programs. In public session, however, the board will not hear personnel complaints against particular school personnel or against any person connected with the school system. Other means are provided whereby the board may consider and dispose of legitimate complaints involving individuals and employees within the system. Further, the board does not typically respond to comments during public participation.
My name is Jim Wizenhunt. I live on Alton Drive in Vestavia. Lived in Vestavia for 25 years. Had 2 kids graduate from Vestavia High School. I have a question, and I'm not asking for comment. You voted up here, you did a motion on demoting, I will say, that's my word, Ms. Dressback to the alternative school principal, and you asked all in favor. I would like to see the hands again of who voted in favor. Does that ask you too much to know how my board members voted?
Mr. Wizenhunt, how do
The board will not respond. They won't even tell me how they voted. They won't. Let me look into these cameras. The board will not even tell us how they voted on demoting Ms. Dressback.
Is there a shame?
Will it be reflected in the minutes?
I couldn't hear, this man never said a word. I kind of heard, did you vote for or against?
Again, Mr. Wizenhunt, the board can't
Wait a
answer.
You know she was voting in
I'm
her.
asking you, is it a secret vote?
You saw the same vote everybody else.
Well, we don't know.
There's nothing there.
We didn't see anything.
Is it
Look, I was
recorded in the
here
minutes?
Monday and I tried to make my case and was hoping I would ask questions to get answers and I didn't. I was told to email. I emailed Superintendent Freeman, got no response. 48 hours later, I followed up today, got no response.
Everybody.
You would not be in this situation and talk about speculation if you had handled it correctly to begin with and let the people of the voices in Vestavia who are asking why Ms. Dressback is being disciplined, because there's no other way to look at it. If you're transferring her from one of the premier schools in the state to an alternative school, which is a totally different animal. So she's being demoted for some reason, and we will find out what it is. I'm not letting it go. I have contacts at the TV stations. I have contacts in the media,
What's so funny?
and you can give me that little smile, Mr. Freeman. but I'm not letting it go. Because if she had done something that was criminal or put the kids in harm, you would not allow her to teach, be principal even in the alternative. So something else, I believe it's because she's homosexual. Because it happened, the timeline, it would take a fluke. Now, I could be wrong, and if it turns out I am, I will come to this board and speak again and say, I apologize. But it's just weird that she's getting a 3-year extension on her contract. A few months later, she announces she is gay. God help us with some people in Vestavia when you say you're gay. And if you've got a girlfriend or boyfriend of a different race, God help you even more. So something's going on, and I heard you speak. We don't discriminate because of race, religion. I take that with a big grain of salt. I will continue to follow this. I will continue to urge the media to not stop until you get answers from this board, which they're not going to give you. This is supposed to be a democracy. They work for us. Our tax dollars pay their salary. So you owe something to us. You're the one that caused this, Dr. Freeman. You could have answered this back in March when she was hauled off campus and not allowed anybody to. Now, we may find out it's worse than it is, but if that's the case, she would not be principal at the alternative school. That's all I have to say.
Vestavia Hills Board, I have many members of my church who are members of your community. My name is Reverend Julie Conradi. I'm a member of the Unitarian Universalist Church. I represent many clergy who could not be here tonight. It would stress you to say, why does it matter who this woman loves? She was a great principal. She is a great principal. The kids, the parents, the community love her. Can you not see that? Why are you punishing her in this way? You are opening Vestavia Hills open to all this criticism, and all we're asking you to do is love your neighbor as much as you love yourself. And you would not have demoted yourself over, sharing with someone else who you happen to love in this community. This is not okay. This is 2024. And we love one another. We love you. We want the right thing to be done here. And why can't it happen? You had an opportunity back in March to have the right thing happen when a complaint came to you, Dr. Freeman, that said, oh my gosh, one of our principals is gay. The right thing to do was to say, isn't it wonderful that Principal Dressbeck has someone to love? Yes. You have moved on with your life and moved on with the important business of doing what is best for the children and youth of Vestavia Hills. Instead of making this whole thing happen by dragging her out of the classroom, by keeping her away from the classroom for so long, and then very clearly demoting her to an alternative school. As a former teacher, I would know exactly what that means, and as board members, you should know what that means. This is not a promotion. This is not a glorifying her. This is you are sending her a message that in Vestavia Hills, it is not okay to be LGBTQ. And I'm telling you, on behalf of all of my folks who are here, on behalf of all the clergy that I work with every day, that it is still okay to love whomever you love, and you should not be punished at your job because of who you love in 2024. I'm just asking you to put yourself in her shoes. You've already done the deed, and now you're going to face the consequences. And I'm going to remind the crowd that there is a consequence here for all of these people. I want you to come get pictures of every single name, and I want you to vote them the hell out.
Last year for all of you.
Anyone else want to speak?
Usually dry my teeth when I'm nervous too.
You have to vote the city council out. They're the ones that appoint. We don't get to vote for you.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
You know what you want.
Especially if you're a Vestavia Hills resident, you need to come up here and speak, please. Parents, grandparents, children, whomever, please make your way up here. Thank you.
So my name's Julianne. I was with Julianne Jeffers. When I met Lauren first, we were school together. I was in school with Jocelyn. In school with a lot of you guys. So Lauren was always a lot smarter than I was, and she was a much better student. And I really looked up to her because she was a friend to everybody, but she was just really a hard worker. And I admired that. And we grew up together, but we were never really close, and a lot of that had to do with just I played soccer and did other things, and while she studied and she did things like National Honor Society and, good things. So we went on to college, and she went on and she came back to the University of Montevallo when I was graduating with my undergraduate. She was getting her master's. And she told me that she was going to go on and what she was going to do, and it's pretty much exactly what she's told and what she has done. And over the years, I've had many times to come across Lauren. Once there in Montevallo, and then again, we raised our children at the Vestavia Hills United Methodist Church together, and I would sit right in front of her every Sunday. She didn't miss. We didn't miss either. But she had her kids all dressed up in that service, and we didn't go to the big service. We went to the contemporary service, not because of the music, but because we really appreciated the ministry when Sherry spoke, and she was the one that did that service. So when the Vestavia Hills United Methodist Church decided to disaffiliate, they kind of took a lot away from some people here that really felt at home at that church. And so a lot has changed for a lot of people in this community. And that is a huge change. For Vestavia Hills United Methodist Church to disaffiliate, how do these people feel in our community? They feel lost. They feel lost and they feel hurt. And it's just really sad. So today I'm in Diplomat Deli. I went by, I know probably over my 3 minutes. Never good at this. So I went into Diplomat Deli, and as I was leaving, I had lunch with my friend Jenny and some other people. And as I was leaving, I bumped into Lauren Jean Dressback. Same Lauren Jean Dressback. And I go in there, I order the Squire. I love it. You know, it's the same sandwich. It's always been the same sandwich. I was here in 97. I think in the 80s, the Squire was still the Squire. I like the Squire. Everybody here probably has a sandwich that you eat at Diplomat Deli. And I'm sure Lauren does too. As I was leaving, it occurred to me that she was walking in there to eat the same sandwich, the same way that she has always eaten a sandwich in that building. But now she is going to be at the alternative school principal. And everybody here that went to Vestavia knows that you do not want to be an alternative school administrator or student. What you do speaks so loudly. You tell these kids that they need to do the right things, but then you show them what you do to people who do the right thing. I pulled my kids out of this.
Thank you.
Amen. Everybody else do the same.
Shameful education.
It's a disgusting act on each one of you that voted for it.
Okay, my daughter's just in kindergarten, so this is a whole new world to me. But my name's Sandra, I went to Vestavia, graduated from there, and I live in Alva Heights. Sandra Gonzalez. And my daughter started kindergarten. Day one, Miss Dressback called me because she was having her dad dropped her off for divorce, and she was having issues, and she called me. And on day one of school, there's like so much going on. Like, she saw my daughter, and she advocated for her, like, since the first day. Second day, she called me again. I want to have an emergency EDP or emergency special ed meeting. Within 2 hours, her, the vice principal, the counselor, her teacher, the behavior specialist, all these people were in a meeting. And I have been blown away by the Vestavia system. Like, even being a graduate, I had no idea, like, all the resources and what a great school it is. And Lauren just always, it's, as a single mom, it's extremely comforting, has been extremely comforting to know that the principal is so involved and fighting for our kids and out there every day, waving to them, rain or shine, dressing up in the costumes. Like, she is a bright light and is clearly missed. And also, I just want to know, why haven't the parents been told anything? I just noticed she wasn't in the carpool line. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, where is she? And there's no communication. I also emailed you and explained my whole situation and how great she's been, professional, so kind, so compassionate, like, just empathetic, all the things. And I think it's a huge loss to Alva Heights that she isn't the principal.
Absolutely.
My name is Holly Ham. I live in Crestwood now, but I grew up in this community. I was a teacher from 2002 to 2013 at Homewood High School. I'm not quite as relevant here, except for the fact that being gay meant that I had to be a liar at work. I would rather not be a liar in my life.
Tom knows what that's like.
One of the reasons why I left teaching and I've pursued other careers is because the pressure of never, ever being able to share what your life is like at the Xerox machine with the other teachers. To listen and communicate and participate in everything except for the very core of who you are, day in and day out. To take the risk of coming out to somebody knowing it could be your career every single day of your life. After 13 years of being a liar, I needed to quit. I have a master's degree in national boards and the highest AP grades in the state for 10 years, and I left the classroom because I don't want to be a liar. And I don't want to be forced into lying to keep my job. It's absurd, and I thought things were better, and clearly they aren't. This was the thing that I was terrified of. This is the thing that I lived day in and day out with, the terror of being not only outed, because when I was a teacher, it meant more than just losing your job. It would have meant being disowned by your family. It would have ruined my partner's life and her experience. The repercussions on the individuals that this type of thinking has is devastating. It is devastating, and my true calling and my true gift goes unplayed. I don't get to play that hand because I'd rather be true to myself and an honest teacher than a liar in front of kids every day. I wanted to be the teacher I never had. Nobody gets to be the teacher they never had when they're gay.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Morgan. I live on 2309 Westbrook Drive, and my kids go to Cahaba Heights. I have twins that are in kindergarten and also attend the preschool program. And I am here, I want to say I'm here on a Thursday because I'm a rights activist. I need to do that more often. I'm here because my favorite principal that I've ever experienced was unfairly taken away from our kids without any explanation. My kids have struggled with COVID and they were just delayed. I was so nervous, and Cahaba Heights is an amazing experience for them. The preschool program was amazing, but kindergarten is still, the training wheels come off, the class sizes get bigger, and I was so scared. They can be a lot, and I didn't know how their actions would be interpreted. How adults interpret tiny people's actions in adult ways can really stigmatize them for the rest of their life. And there was Lauren out day, the first day, and I was like, what a great vibe to set off the year. Never expecting that she would be there every day. And that Lauren doesn't know me. If she sees this, she won't know me, but she knows my kids. She knows the names, she knows all of their names. And that was not something I was expecting from a principal. I went to a private school, very small class, and I was nervous about what a big system meant for my kids if they would get lost. But truly, Lauren and the way she led her teachers and the way she loved her kids took all those fears away. And I was able to just drop them off and know that quite literally they were in the best place for them. And I knew because she was so clear about what Vestavia ethics were. My kids coming up, they don't know a lot of words, we're still working on it, but they know what grit is. And that's because of Lauren. And it's because of their teachers, obviously. Shout out to Ms. Wyatt and Ms. Green, love them. But Lauren did a great job. She was in their IEP meetings. She pulled me aside and was talking about how she's been reviewing their progress. She knows my kids, my kid knows her, and they've missed her. And I'm so sad that other generations won't, that parents won't have that ease and that kids won't get to experience her. I truly believe that this was a safety issue because your response was as if it was a safety issue. It was abrupt, right? This isn't an end of the year decision. And if it wasn't a safety issue, I would assume that you would respond similarly to a principal that was caught on camera. Making fun of
I don't blame you for looking down.
So if it's not a safety issue, then we need to understand the process at least, if not the information, that it went through to get such an abrupt and intense response. And I'm assuming that we don't care at all about the kids that are in this alternative school, and that you know that
that she's not a danger to them. So maybe if you can't, just consider this. If you can't give us the details, just explain the process. If you spent hours in a room, then we deserve to know what we did, what questions were asked, what due diligence went into the decision.
My name is Natalie Zogby. I live at 3834 Overton Manor Lane, and my son is in kindergarten at Cobb Heights Elementary. And I just want to say, from the moment that we stepped foot on campus, we have felt warm and welcome. We were very lucky that we came from a private school that was very small, very inclusive, and very progressive, and did everything to take care of our children. And I am very, very concerned as to why the principal was removed after her 3-year contract was extended, and we've been given no information. I think that we have a right to know that. Sending our children to school in 2024 is one of the most dangerous places we can send them.
Yes.
And by not being transparent and not sharing, you are putting us at risk, and you're withholding information. And I think that we have a right to know, because there is one less person at our school that is saying hello every morning to the children by name. And that's what we need, is we need a community, and we need people who protect and support our children. So thank you for your time, and I will continue to follow up until we have more information about how we can keep our kids safe.
Hi, my name is Drew Templeton. I am a parent student at Vestavia Hills, Cobb Heights. Today I watched you harm my child's education. My child loves Lauren Dressback. And you know what? Lauren Dressback loves her. She knows her by name. When I told her that Lauren might not be her principal anymore, her shock and upset was palpable.
Are you providing grief counsel?
As a parent in this school system, I need accountability. I need to know the whys and wherefores of the major decisions impacting my child.
Absolutely.
And if accountability can't be achieved, then I need a new board.
Doing good?
Hi, I'm Mary Wood. I live at 3987 Natchez Drive. I have 2 kids that go to Cobb Heights Elementary. We have been there from kindergarten on. When we first started, it was Dr. Huntsberger. Then Ms. Tinker disappeared. Now
She's
Ms.
at the
Dressback
division
is
school.
disappearing.
She was there too.
She went to, yes. That was at the end of the year, we finally found out what happened to Ms. Tinker.
She was there for 3 months.
That was the black school, right?
So I have 2 special needs kids myself. Lauren has always made them feel great about themselves. And you guys taking that away from them now shows them that diversity is not okay. And we must go with whatever blinders you guys have. Because diversity should be across the board. It doesn't matter who you are. As long as my kid is safe, I want that principal there. And if my kid's not safe, why did she leave? Why are you punishing?
This is quick. My name's Alita Maniscalco. I've taught in the school system for 26 years, and I have 2 things. The first one is, have y'all noticed a word that has come up with almost everybody that stood up here, or with everybody that stood up here? It's the word love.
Amen.
No matter what else she did, that woman loves children, and I have known her since she was a child. Her mother and I taught together. We were extremely good friends because we did the yearbook together for 10 years. And as an adult, and I've told her mother this countless times, I followed her on Facebook because I was so impressed with her as a parent. Like they're saying, if this is something where somebody was endangered, this is my other question. Will Lauren Jean Dressback, I still call her Lauren Jean, will she know the reason that she was demoted, that she was not carded, but that she was escorted off of campus and not allowed to return even to her own son's track meet unless she called by permission? Now, if she's done something that bad, is she gonna know? Somebody tell me. You seem to be the one with the answer. Does she have to know? Is it illegal for you to what's the word?
Answer her.
Is it illegal for you not to give her an answer if she asks?
Speaking on the mic, we can't hear you.
What do you say, sir?
You're already too much.
I'm done. Answer my question. Will Lauren Dressback be told the reason for this action?
Answer her.
Sir.
They take the Fifth Amendment.
No, we're not answering.
No back.
I'll say this is not gonna look good on a resume for anybody sitting.
Please, nobody, allow the speakers to speak, and please don't interrupt.
And you know what?
They're entitled
Answer the question.
If you can't answer that, I didn't ask anything about this particular case. In your bylaws or whatever you have, she gave me her time. Yeah.
Don't tell that person.
In your bylaws, you don't want to answer this. In
That's
your
right, and I'm not
bylaws.
gonna answer the question because she's
Can I have a copy? What do you want?
She yielded her time.
Your bylaws say that you have to give any employee like Ms. Dressback a reason for action that's taken, like being transferred, demoted. He heard me.
What she said.
Do I have to actually sit up and answer it?
We can't answer the question.
What is your
This is the part of the meeting where the public is allowed to make public comments. This is not allowed the part of the meeting where questions are thrown to board members or the board attorney.
When is that, sir?
The chair.
When is that, sir? When can we ask questions where you will give answers? When is that, sir?
Can we let her talk?
He's not gonna
I
answer.
apologize for not wearing green. I do think that Dolly would. My name is Taylor Hill. I live on Badham Drive, right across from Spice. And I have lived here since 1991. I'm here in support of Ms. Dressback, but something has really rubbed me the wrong way, and I just want to put it out there, and it might rub you the wrong way when I say this, but trust the process. I don't like all the negative comments about alternative school. Every student is important, even the ones who are in alternative school.
That's right.
It is a known fact that alternative school is a demotion for a staff member.
Absolutely.
Sure. Mike, I would like to ask a question that I think you might be able to answer, but maybe not, because it's simply a question. Can you tell me I'm sorry, I didn't mean that as petty as it sounded, I really didn't. Can you tell me how many students are in the alternative school? Less than 100, less than 200?
That's not something.
Can I ask, is it less than the amount of children that attend Bahama Heights? I'm assuming it's less than the amount of children that attend Bahama Heights by a significant amount, is my assumption. If I'm wrong, I'm sure somebody will blast me on Facebook and let me know. So where I'm going with this is, yes, the children in the alternative school will be so lucky to have Ms. Dressback. However, the amount of children at Cahaba Heights that she will be making a difference if she stays makes up all the difference.
And the last thing I'll say, well, the main thing was, I just want everyone to know that the kids at alternative school are just as wonderful.
Yeah.
I don't even know them. Yeah, I don't work in this school system, I work in a different one. But like, that's my main thing I want to get across, because I'm kind of getting tired of the alternative school. They're wonderful kids, they're just as good as anybody else. And any staff member should be lucky to work with them, yes, but it is a demotion. She's incredible, and she should be with the kids like that have, the more kids, I'm totally lost my brain now, but you know what I'm saying. Thank you, as many kids as possible, thank you. And also, it's not too late to change your vote. Open it up.
Hi, my name is Catherine Gary. We have just relocated to Vestavia, Louisiana, and really didn't know anything about this. Hadn't heard about her until about 2 days ago. Somebody saw on TikTok was talking about it, so I decided to do some research since we're trying to decide what to do with our kids. And, there's not a lot of information except glowing recommendations of this principal and how wonderful she is. And the only thing, and you say you can't answer questions, but I'm also a lawyer, you can, you choose not to. So
That's right.
Stop saying that, sorry. Anyway, so when I told my kids we were coming, why are we going? We're not in school there yet. What's the process? And I said, well, what happened in Birmingham? We learned about in history. And they said, oh, the civil rights movement. Yes, it was the hub of that. Yes, you're correct. And I said, when you teach your kids about history, you always say, if I'd been alive then, I would have been with them. I would have been protesting and I would have been doing the right thing. But sometimes as a white woman, comfortable in her life, that's an easy position to say, because when the time comes, will you really do what is stand up for people who need your voice behind them? And that's why I'm here. And that's why I told my kids I was here, to give voices and to tell you that you are doing the wrong thing and that you are on the wrong side of history. And you will be embarrassed.
Pay attention.
And mortified. You have to explain this to your children in 20 years when they are old enough to understand what happened here and the choices you made against this woman who no one has anything bad to say. You are on the wrong side of history. And your children and grandchildren will be ashamed of you.
I'm Tim Price. I live in Cava Heights. You don't need to know my address. Now, your name is, sir?
Yeah, what's the lawyer's name?
Yeah, your name? Oh, you don't want to answer? Oh, you can't answer the question. Is that it? Are you an attorney, sir? Are you their attorney?
It's public
Damn well.
information.
Now, my kids went to Cava Heights. They weren't there when I dressed back. Can't believe this. Okay. But they went to the high school. They went all through Vestavia Hills High School. Guess what? They're gay. Both my kids are gay. You didn't throw them out of the school, did you? Because you got to take care of the kids, right? That's what Ms. Dresbach did. She took care of the kids. She did her job.
Amen.
Now do yours. You got time. When's this meeting over?
Yeah.
You got time.
We can
Make it right. Now, here's my next question. Y'all are religious people, right? I know you are. I've done my research on you. Now, one of my favorite movies is a stupid movie, and it's called Joe Dirt. One of his favorite sayings is this where you want to be when Jesus comes back?
That's right.
Mr. Attorney, at least the other guy had a plaque that gave his name.
He took his.
Yeah, he got no balls.
Heard the ball down.
Hey, Queen's Son. I live in Cava Heights, live in Grand Island Apartment. I'll be quick. I just want you to see two of the kids that Cava Heights has changed their life, particularly my daughter Boston. She's nonverbal. And most of you know that there's been all kinds of, yes, she loves Lauren too. As most of you know, the stuff that happened at Delhi Ridge when you have kids that don't have a voice and you have to rely on someone to just tell you how their day was. And how scary it was to go from such a confident and caring place of United ability to go into a public school. We had the most amazing first day of the dress back. She spent a lot of her day with Boston. It was so wonderful there that my son wanted to leave his school where I was working to be able to go to Cava Heights and develop such a wonderful relationship with dress back. You're not going to give us the information that we want. I just want you to see two faces that are going to be impacted because of your decision.
Good evening. My name is Representative Neil Rafferty with House 54. Now, this is not my district, and this is normally I would give the courtesy to the local legislator here. This has become an issue that I felt compelled to drive straight from Montgomery. I haven't even been home yet after a long week in Montgomery to come up here and say, where are the answers here? What's the problem? I think that, what we've heard, and I was listening to the live stream on my way up here, paying attention to this story a little bit, and hearing from the community here, the folks that do live here, the folks that do have kids and students here, who want their principal back.
Amen.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yes.
And I'll tell you this, the secrecy and the reluctance to really give a reason for any possible, the secrecy leaves open a vacancy that is going to get filled in with what you're hearing here today. Because you're not being transparent, you're not letting us know what's going on. But you got to understand what signal, you're not just signaling to your other teachers, your other principals, your other staff there, you're signaling to your students who might be LGBTQ identified that they don't matter. That is what that is. All the secrecy, everything else you got going on here, you need to let us know what is the issue, what is the deal. Why did she get transferred to a school when she was clearly beloved, had many accolades with, beloved by the community, beloved by her school, and had lots of accolades and accomplishments. So I'm just trying to figure out, I want to put that on y'all to know that we're all watching this, that this isn't just a Vestavia Hills issues anymore. That this is an issue that goes beyond. What signal you are sending to the students at your school right now. You really need to be watching that, because right now you're saying that they don't matter. Okay?
And there's a clear child in every grade every school, there's going to be a clear child. And I want you to think about the message you are sending to each of those children.
I don't think
suicide.
they
kill kids.
Well, if you're special needs, yeah, you don't matter.
Or Jewish.
Yeah, or just one
Black. My name is April Eric Rush, also probably known as the loud lesbian that lives in Vestavia.
Yeah!
I've lived in Vestavia for 42 years. I graduated from Vestavia. I started first grade in Vestavia. I had Miss Jean, who I hope is watching this and isn't crying because of what you've done to her family, but I'm sure she probably is. I've known Lauren probably since middle school. Her and I actually went to Montevallo together. We did our student teaching together when we were at Homewood. She by far was way better teacher than I ever should have, or even conceived of thinking I could have been. There was an opening when we did our student teacher that year. She said, I'm going to apply for it. I said, oh, never mind, I won't, because I do better. I said, that's cool. I said, a year later, there's an opening in Vestavia. She said, yeah, that's where I was at. That's my heart, that's my soul, that's where I want to be, that's where my family is. I said, I shall not apply for that either. Because I knew I wasn't going to get the job. Not over her, because she was freaking amazing.
Yeah.
I do want to speak on a few things that I do know. I do know that Mr. Jeffers is probably rolling over in his grave, because the Vision School, which was the alternative school that got a new name so we could hide people,
It was designed to help kids that were at risk. And some of those could have been LGBTQ kids like myself, because I never came out, never went to prom, never did anything because I was afraid. But he's probably definitely rolling over at his grave, because this is not what the Vision School was designed and meant to do. It was, the Vision School started in 2017. It's been open for 80 months as the Vision School. In those 80 months, it has only been principaled, if that's even a word, well, I'm not a teacher anymore, for 22 of those 80 months. So 58 months it's been without a principal.
Yeah.
It can run itself because it's not really a thing. The students at the alternative school will never see Miss Dressback, like they never saw Burgess, they never saw Tinker, and they never saw, well, actually, they actually saw Miss Peters because she started it and she kind of was passionate about it. So she's the one oddball I haven't quite figured out in the puzzle pieces. But you don't have to worry about the kids at Vision. They'll never see her. This is where they put the teachers to die, to leave, to resign, or to work out the rest of their contract. And we all know that. So rest assured, your Vision kids are safe. What's not safe is the Common Heights kids who lost the best principal they'll probably ever have.
Yep.
Because Vestavia will lose the best teacher probably in the top 10 that they ever had.
Yeah.
And she was a legacy. And you know what? You mess with the legacy family, you mess with us all.
Good evening. My name is Melissa Scott. I'm a 2001 graduate of Vestavia Hills High School. I did not have Miss Dressback as a teacher, but I did have her mother, Karen Jean, and I'm here tonight in gratitude of this family's dedication to education. I'm currently a licensed professional counselor here in Birmingham, and I'm a proud bisexual woman.
Yes.
And I will talk about the mental health impact of your decision tonight. Statistically speaking, there are children in this elementary school who will come out as LGBTQ in adolescence or later. That's not a question, that's a fact. They are watching you tonight and seeing an LGBTQ identified adult be persecuted for being who she is. There is a mountain of research that indicates that these types of actions are more likely to cause student depression, thoughts of suicidality, distrust of authority, and reduced academic performance. It doesn't matter if you don't listen to a single adult voice tonight. The children are watching you, and you have done real and present harm to children tonight. And I hope you all sleep well tonight.
I am David Tarachi. I live in Hoover right now. Me and Scott walked the same stage 32 years ago this month. My Vestavia education made me, for better or worse, the man I am today. I don't know Lauren. I barely remember her mother, but the one thing I remember most of is Rebels Stand Together. One rebel.
I'm gonna keep what I have to say short. This lawyer's probably paid by the minute. So they won't listen to us. It's clear when we walked in here, they wouldn't listen to us.
You didn't.
You don't
have to give him any information.
You don't have to.
I want to keep my words short. They won't listen to us. It's clear from the agenda when we walked in here that they will not listen to us.
What's your name, sir?
His name first.
His name first, buddy. His name first.
They're sitting here silent because they know that if they admit the reason that they are taking these actions, that it is illegal. And the reason that there is a lawyer here is because every single person on this board needs to stay quiet so that there's no proof that this is discrimination. Discriminating on sexual orientation is illegal. And that's why they're not speaking today. Secondly, I want to ask you, and you're not going to answer, what the leading cause of death for queer children is. And the answer is, the leading cause of death for queer children is that they kill themselves. And that's what you're contributing. If you think that you can be on a school board and pass policies that lead to children killing themselves, you should be ashamed of yourself. And I'm speaking from my personal experience in that I wanted to kill myself and I attempted to kill myself. And I would have if I didn't have a gay teacher in my school.
Sure we can't have your name? I wanna know.
Why do you ask us for our names and you won't give us yours? That's
No,
absurd.
that's not happening.
Oh,
Don't give any names,
We
man.
don't know, we don't know.
Hi, my name's Amy Brown, and I live in Cobb Heights. And I understand y'all have made it very clear, you're not gonna respond to any of my emails, and you're not gonna respond to questions tonight. But I need you to understand, I don't know what to tell my kindergartner when he asks me why Lauren Dressback isn't at school. When he says, why isn't she coming back? I have no reason to give him. You're breaking my child's heart, and you're making it hard for me to help him understand why his teacher's not there. And she didn't get to even say goodbye. Seriously, guys.
Bring
What
her
do I
back.
say to him?
She's got mean bosses.
Yeah.
That's what you tell them.
That's what I'm gonna say to him.
My name's Ashley. I have a first grader in Cobb Heights Elementary on the 3905 White Oak Drive. And I honestly don't see how you guys can just sit here stone-faced and not answer any questions when our principal has been taken away. And my child is so sad. And the effect that it's had on other children, like my boss, I don't see how you guys can sit here and look the way you look and not give us any answers. It makes no sense. No sense at all. This is like a communist country. Alabama is so far behind the times.
Yes.
I live in Silicaga, which I know you're familiar with, Superintendent. And I came here and I was so excited when I saw Miss Dressback the first day on orientation. She had tattoos. She just looked different. She acted different. She was very enthusiastic, and I was so excited to have my child go to that school and start kindergarten there. First and only child. And now I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, I want her to still continue to go to the school, but the board, I'm sorry, I have no respect for you guys.
No.
We don't know what the hell's going on. We know what the hell is going on.
We all know.
Yeah, we know.
And we're not
We know.
gonna stand for it. You guys are not gonna have your job soon. And I hope you're happy with that. I hope you guys sleep well at night. So thank you for coming and, you know, making Silicaga what it is and bringing it here to Vestavia.
Hi, my name's Jenna Bishop. I'm a resident of College Hills. I'm a veteran of both Navy and the Air Force, honorably discharged. You know, I have a family that loves me. I recently visited my extended family. They were all very loving and accepting. Back to the military days, I think at times when, you know, we ran out of engine rooms because they were on fire, and some of the brave young folks that ran in there to put those fires out and keep us safe. You know, the Straits of Hormuz during, you know, the Iran-Iraq war. You know, when I look at all of you so stone-faced and with such resolve that you just want to make your problem go away because Ms. Dressback is such a threat to you, it breaks my heart to think you would happily have me just be unalive and not have ever existed. As with whatever percentage of LGBTQ folks that are here, and you know, maybe there's still time. I don't know if it's a fait accompli. Maybe you're so solid in your decision to let her go and just make her go away. But just think of all the people I've served with, many people of many different orientations, cultural backgrounds. It's just very sad. I would like to, you know, send a message of love, but wow, it makes it difficult when, you know, people just don't want you around. Thank you.
I wasn't planning on speaking tonight, but here I am.
Woo!
My name is Ashley Skipper, and my son is a student at Cobb Heights. He's in first grade. With everything that's happened in the world, in schools and to children, and especially after COVID, my husband and I were scared
to send our son to school. We agonized over the decision of where he should go. We specifically moved to Cahaba Heights for him to attend the school that I felt was the best fit for him and would be safe for him. I know not all children have that opportunity to go to a safe school. And I felt privileged and blessed to give that opportunity to my child. The first day that I met Lauren Dressback was on kindergarten orientation day. And I cannot convey to you verbally how much better she made me feel about sending my child to public school. I was sitting in the gym and she walked out and immediately put every single parent in that gym at ease. The warmth, the dedication, the sincerity, the truth that we knew she was speaking when she said, "Your children are safe here and they are loved."
Yes.
And when she spoke those words, I shed tears because that was all I wanted in this world. We're angry and we're hurt because we feel that the board and the superintendent has hurt someone that we love or who she loves. And that's wrong.
Absolutely.
And I emailed you, Dr. Freeman, and I just specifically asked you, I told you my story that I'm telling everyone right now. I told you that I was scared to send my child to school, and she put me at ease. And she continued to put me at ease. Every single morning that I would drop my child off, rain or shine, she was out in the front of the school, high-fiving him and saying, "Hey," to my child by name. And if you have kids, you know that feeling, that leaving them in the care of others is terrifying. You don't have to try really hard to see that every single person for decades feels the exact same way about her as I do. She has touched everybody's life because she is an amazing person. And the fact that you have not given her an answer as to why this disciplinary action has been taken and frankly punished her, the fact that we had to find out through social media, it feels wrong because it is wrong. I don't think anybody minds me being up here talking.
No.
We
should get out of my spot.
Mine gave 6 weeks to talk. All right, I will respect the days.
The czar is
respected.
Amen.
Hi, remember me? Do I get another 3 minutes, buddy?
Okay.
Why not?
Board.
Mr. Board.
Good, great. See that picture behind you, Todd? That's Cahaba Heights Elementary. You know what's missing from it?
Mr. Price.
Lauren.
Mr. Price, please, respect the process. Respect the process.
You don't respect us or the kids.
Process. If somebody else likes to speak, you're taking up their.
Your process.
I didn't see anybody that came up here.
No.
Come on.
Oh, we have we're here all night long.
His name's Boardman, by the way, the czar came to the table.
Hey, what's up, Attorney?
Boardman, great.
Oh, wait, you're not an attorney, you're a lawyer.
I wasn't gonna speak either. My name's Frau Rogers. Where I used to be. I retired in 2020. My name's Kathy Rogers. I taught Vestavia for 30 years. I taught Lauren. Your smile is disingenuous. I can't.
Taste it on.
I taught Lauren. I started teaching in 1992. So let me know in my 3 minutes, right?
Oh, he will.
Okay, y'all, we have to do better so that they'll do better.
Absolutely.
In 1992, when I started, one of the very first things I remember about Vestavia Hills High School was Mr. Gross bringing us into. Anita, do you remember? bringing us into the gym one morning and telling us that a little boy had shot himself. And his mom would talk with us. And everybody knew why, but nobody would say it. And then I got to know these wonderful, beautiful, talented teachers who were my mentors and my guides. And then I wondered why when we had I was really naive. I wondered when we had a tailgate or a potluck or a retirement party, they were always by themselves. There were these wonderful teachers who were spinsters, I guess, or lifelong bachelors. We know who they were. They brought home trophy after trophy after trophy to that school. They're beloved. Some of them are immortalized in bronze plaques on the wall, but they couldn't live their lives out loud. And I thought it was getting better. Toward the end of my time, I had a rainbow sticker on my door, but I didn't need it because the kids knew I was safe. My own children would bring their friends to me if they needed a safe place. Somehow, my room was the place to come. Somehow, I got those kids, and that was a joy to me. But it also meant I got suicide letters. It also meant I helped kids who were sobbing because their parents were kicking them out. I thought it was getting better. And I hope it's okay to say this, but Lauren, when you were 14, I knew. I don't know if you knew, sweet, but I knew. And I was so happy to think that she's living her life out loud and that we could really be the family that everybody says we are. And that we really could provide a safe, nurturing, loving home for our teachers and for our kids and our staff and everybody in the community. But I guess I'm still kind of naive. And it just breaks my heart. It makes me sad. It's embarrassing, and I think it's going to be expensive.
Like I said before, the love that Lauren's shown, I cannot believe that doesn't override any clerical or.
Take out somebody else's time.
That's okay.
She can have mine.
Yeah, she had everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, if it is something else,
We did.
tell us. That's what I want you to tell Lauren.
We gave you your 3 minutes.
Oh, Mr. Bourne.
She can have mine.
Thank you.
My name's Carl Julian. I'd like to yield my time back to you.
No, it's okay.
Oh, I actually don't have anything to say. I've just come. Yeah, I don't have anything to add.
I have something to add with you, Carl. They shouldn't have taken, y'all seen enough of us, I'm sure, but it shouldn't have taken that. I want you to look around this room and look at how many people, like they said, for decades, have positive things to say about this woman. Those of us who you have deemed as different and who you tend to kind of hypersexualize for some odd reason, Lauren Jean's reputation speaks for itself. We may color outside of your lines a little bit, okay? But at no time does that mean.
You're certainly welcome to speak. Can you give your name, please?
Stop interrupting.
We want to hear you. It's our meeting.
She's my daughter. You'll know it in a minute.
I lost my train of thought, but.
He did that on purpose.
Yeah, we say color outside of your lines a little bit, but coloring outside of your lines, at no point does that ever mean that we are unprofessional. Lauren didn't just all of a sudden become unprofessional overnight. That doesn't happen. You started looking at her as unprofessional overnight.
My name's Carl Julian. I live in Cotton Heights, Emily Road. I really wasn't planning to speak at all. I said a lot. And I don't have anything to add that's going to change anybody's mind. You guys already made your decision and didn't allow me comments. It's really ridiculous. But, for the public record, somebody needs to say something. So, I love this city. I mean, this is where I grew up, so I raised a family, and I am tired. The board has jurisdiction over the superintendent, right? And the board has power over the superintendent. We need a new superintendent. It's getting embarrassing. We need a new superintendent. So,
They don't want them.
I wasn't gonna say anything, but, my name is Allison Black. 5846 Black Creek Drive. My son and my daughter-in-law live right back here. I teach principles of ethical leadership here in Vestavia for Leadership Vestavia Hills, and I used to teach it for the high school. Lauren was the sponsor of the students. Saturday late, my daughter-in-law, who teaches at Crestline, showed me a video. And my very first reaction was, this is absolute, there's something, I thought you were nuts. I'm sorry. There's no way this could be real. I lived here and I raised all but one of my 5 children here. And I went to alternative school because I lived in foster care. Most of you that live in this town know that. And I want to say this to all of you guys, because many of you were my students at LDH. I know it's hard what's going on because you can't comment. Maybe you guys saw something we don't know. I don't know. But I do know this. When you wait this long, and I taught a couple of you in my class, when you wait this long, and when you go through this due process that I know counsel says you have to do, it puts this person in this under this black cloud. I cannot imagine what this woman's going through. I am a conservative Republican. I have probably a third of my staff where I work are transgender. My parents are going to be so mad at me, Mommy. You're speaking up, and I want everyone in this room. Well, you know, I just want you to know from me to all of you in this room. If I thought that the things that were wrong in our state could be solved by talking about what goes on in y'all's bedrooms, Lord knows I would. But I want you to know something. I love all people. I do. That's how I was raised. That's how I was taught, including all y'all. And if you feel alone or you feel like you're being judged, always know you have a safe place to go with me. And I love this city. I will always love Vestavia. I talked them into moving here. They wanted to move to Mountain Brook, and I said, absolutely not. But I'm just ashamed and sad. And I think you lost a really great lady, and I wish that my granddaughter, my grandson could get to meet her and have her as a principal, but they won't. But if you're gay, transgender, anybody in this room, I don't care. I just want you to be nice to animals and people. I wish you all the blessings. I do. I wish you all the luck in the world because y'all it's going to be a long road ahead of y'all.
Amen.
And I appreciate you hearing me out, and I pray for Miss Pack and her family. I so badly wish my grandkids were going to get to have her as an educator. And man, I wish they were bad. I shouldn't say bad kids because I was one. If she is going to get to teach the alternative school, those are the luckiest kids in the world. If you tell me anything, I don't know what I will do. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hi, good evening. My name is Dominique. I'm a resident of Vestavia Hills, but unlike a lot of you here, I'm not from Vestavia. I don't have kids in the school system, but I did move here by choice because I found it to have a very vibrant community, a very wonderful, beautiful city. I've loved living here in the past 2 years. I don't know Lauren, but what I do know is that what's happening here tonight is despicable. Not what's happening here, what's happening here. I grew up in a very small town in North Alabama. I grew up queer, but I did not know that until I was about 21, or at least I didn't come to terms with it until I was about 21. And for those of you, especially you on the school board, who clearly don't know what that is like, it has a drastic impact on your mental health to hide that and to have people showing you time and time again that your existence, your very existence on this earth is wrong. And that's what we are doing here. We are telling our children in Vestavia Hills that their existence is wrong. And as someone said earlier, your mental health suffers. So what I do want to say is to the queer children who are watching this right now, because there are queer children watching this right now, watching your actions, I want to say to you that it is okay to be gay, lesbian, trans, queer, etc. Your existence is not wrong, and it doesn't matter who you are. We love you. The school board does not speak for your community. Your community loves you, and it's going to be okay. It's going to be better. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Matthew Villarreal. I am from Tuscaloosa County. And I just looked at the beliefs that are stated by this district, and it says each person deserves to be safe. Diversity strengthens community. All people have the right to learn without limits. How is this keeping LGBTQ people safe when you are presumably firing somebody who identifies that way? Diversity strengthens community. How is this promoting diversity when you're saying it's not okay to be different? All people have the right to learn without limits. When there is a principal who has done so much good for kids, how are you okay with getting rid of her so that kids have less opportunities to learn? And finally, I want to reiterate just a small point because I think it's important. Let's say, for the sake of argument, you are not firing this teacher because she identifies a certain way. Then what are we hiding? Why is there not more transparency, and what is the big secret about? That's what I want to know.
James Decker. Cahaba Heights resident. I have had 4 children go through Cahaba Heights Elementary and all through the Vestavia school system, and it has been absolutely wonderful. And I just want to thank the board for what y'all do. I want to thank Dr. Freeman especially for what you do, and ask that you continue doing your job thoroughly. And as you have here, looked into this situation and done your due diligence. And we really appreciate that. And I think I've heard a lot of comments. An interesting one that I think we should all remember: teachers change. Your child grows up, goes to the next grade, gets a new teacher, goes to the next school, gets a new principal. But do you know who stays constant in your child's life?
God.
God.
All right.
I was going to say, that's an even better answer, thank you. But I was going to say parents. And I think this is a great chance to be parents and raise your children up through this and be present in their lives and help them through whatever they face. And I can't compare to what everybody's going through. Everybody has your own situation. And there is another side to every case, right? To every issue. But I want the board to know there are plenty of residents and community members out there who support you, and we appreciate you. And better things to do.
Hello, my name is Angel Johnson. I live at 617 Hickory Knoll, Homewood, Alabama. I am 45 years old. I am queer, and I am non-binary trans-masc. I'm telling you all of these things because one of the beliefs that Matthew did not mention under what is written for you guys is that transparency inspires trust. Right now, you guys are not being very trustful. You're not being transparent. What you are telling the children of Vestavia is what I've been telling people about Vestavia for the past 40 years, is that Vestavia is not kind to those that do not look and believe and like people the way that they think they should.
Right.
My daughter asked, why can we not move to Vestavia? Because she did her own research and saw that Vestavia schools were some of the best schools in Alabama. I told her, no, we will not move there because we will not be accepted in that community. And right now, your lack of transparency is ringing out very clear to the other citizens of Vestavia, of Jefferson County, of the wider Birmingham area, and Alabama, that you do not acknowledge or appreciate the diversity of all of us.
My name is Patrick Gilbert. I live in Cobb Heights. I work in Cobb Heights. I coach baseball teams for Vestavia. I want to take just an opportunity in a second to, again, the board, I can't imagine what it feels like to sit in a seat. I can't imagine that
Let it
all
talk.
the things that you've been through and the things that you're doing. I understand that not everything can be aired out for the public to know. What we've heard tonight from everybody in this room is how much they love Ms. Dressback. I have 2 kids currently in Cobb Heights. I have 2 more who are about to be in Cobb Heights. For one glorious year, all 4 of my kids will be in Cobb Heights, which is going to be great. I can only assume, and we all know what assuming gets you, that if this has to be some other reason than her preferences. I believe there are probably other teachers and other faculty members who are gay, who have openly said that, and yet they are still happily employed with the city of Vestavia. So, as an assumption, I can only assume that there is something different. Dr. Freeman, you and I talked about communication before.
You talked to this guy?
And I believe, and I've mentioned to you that communication is always key. It's the one that kills all rumors. It's the one that kills all questions that are going on. I know you may not be able to communicate accurately what's going on totally now, but I hope at some point we can communicate exactly a little further as to why she was being moved from one school to another. I think communication is absolutely key in all walks of life. So I would encourage you guys to find the ability to communicate that well so that we can have an understanding, have a comfort of why she was being moved. Thank you.
Let us know.
No law that says they can't right now.
There's not.
It probably is.
Lawyers, get ready.
Hi folks, my name is Casey. I live in Cobb Heights. I have 3 kids also in Cobb Heights. And I'm going to be a gentleman here. We obviously have differing opinions on things, and that's fine. I have no problem with that. I know you said you can't imagine sitting in this seat. I can't imagine sitting in y'all's seat. To be honest with you. Geez, I've known Ms. Dressback for a long time. My wife is dear friends with her. And I went to school with her, went to school with some of you guys. And my kids are 10 and I got 8-year-old twins, and my daughter and my 2 sons love Ms. Dressback like everybody else does. And man, it breaks my heart, but I'm gonna have to tell them the truth. And that's the tough thing. That's all I gotta say. I mean, that's tough. I'm not telling the truth. I mean, like you said, you guys may have something that you're not telling us, and hey, that's fine. But it'd be, like Patrick said, communication. There's zero. And when you have zero communication, everybody's gonna ask you, what you hiding? And if you're not hiding something, it's really easy to say, this is the problem we had, and this is why she's gone. And it's real easy if there's nothing to hide. And y'all all were asked which way you voted. You all denied to tell us, and that's, I don't know if that's your right or not, I can't tell you that. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But if it's not finalized and y'all don't, and y'all have an opinion that you're not saying yet, if y'all have an opinion that you're not saying because you're scared to say something in public, say it. Please. We live where we live now, and this is gonna get really big. It's scary to think that you guys are gonna get what you're getting coming to you, and I'm just saying communication, all right, guys? And like I said, I like some of y'all, and, thank you.
The truth will set you free. Anybody back there? Come on, come on down.
Hi, I'm Callie Comer, graduated from Vestavia in 2012. And in the time that I've been alive, I remember Vestavia being in national news twice. Once, when we finally decided to change our official flag from the Confederate flag to a commissioned Vestavia Hills High School flag. And a second time when John Oliver decided to tell us that Colonel Rev is still racist. And I think for a third time, it's going to be how y'all have conducted this. I don't tell people I'm from Vestavia when I meet people out of state. I tell people I'm from Birmingham, because whenever I tell people I'm from Vestavia, they know those two stories. And it's really hard to love the city I'm from when this keeps happening.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak? In the back?
I've already had my time, but I want to say this. They're being silent because they're counting on this to blow over. They're counting on us to forget that it's happened. They think that if they say nothing, that we'll just walk out of here and go on with our lives. We can't forget this and we won't.
We really do appreciate everybody coming tonight. We do.
Oh, yeah.
And sharing your hearts with us. Everybody has a right to do that. And we appreciate you coming and being here and expressing your concerns. And we will continue to honor that if you want to come and speak. So that every meeting, so we appreciate you all. And we love our community as well.
Every meeting, y'all heard that.
Every meeting.
Did you and say something? Sorry. I actually just came to listen because I saw this all blow up on Facebook and kind of thought there must be something else to the story. I want to go listen. I went to Chicago Heights when it was a county school. And then we were annexed in. I went to Vestavia for high school, graduated there with some other people in the room. Had a good experience, went to Alabama, lived in DC, moved back here by choice, back to Birmingham. I currently live in Mountain Brook, I'm sorry. But I do live in the Chicago Heights part, so I feel like I'm very close. My name is Callie Martin McNutt. And most of my family went to Vestavia or is at Vestavia, has kids at Vestavia. Anyway, so I basically just came here to listen, try to understand the call for transparency. I think I understand why you're not speaking, so, or, it is what it is. That's all I'm saying. I also was wondering if he does your PR and crisis communications. I also did a magazine. But I just, hopefully there's more to the story because it doesn't add up right now. So that's my call. Is I had a great experience at Vestavia. Also Chicago Heights and Gresham when they were county schools were fantastic. My parents actually chose to go there over Mountain Brook because at the time it was the highest ranking school that has some actual diversity. So with that said, good luck in your decision.
All right, well, we appreciate you coming. Meeting's adjourned.
Famous, world famous.
World famous.